All right, here we go with 6th grade Excel, lesson number 18. We're going to be looking at equivalent fractions using model, money, multiplication, or division. Fractions that refer to the same portion of a group of items or the same part of a whole are called equivalent fractions. Two fractions that are equal to each other, that means that they have the same amount of stuff, but they just look different because the numbers are different. So let's take a look at this first sample here. We have number 1. 1/2, and they show you that half of the shapes here are circles. We have 2 circles out of 4 shapes, so this half is circles, the other half is triangles, so that's not circles. And so we can also call this 1/2 2 circles out of 4 shapes altogether. 2 out of 4 are circles. All right, here's another one, number 3. This should be review for you, shouldn't be too tough. We have 3/4 being circles here. 1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4 have circles in them. And what is that equal to in eighths? You notice that there's 8 total shapes. How many of the shapes are circles out of the 8 total shapes? See if you can write that in before I write it. So the answer is 6. 6 out of 8 are circles. Pause the video, do number 3 on your own, and then turn it back on to see the solution. Okay, this one says, again, circles, and we can see that there are a total of 6 different shapes, and that's what we have over here with 2 of them being circles. 2 shapes out of the 6 altogether are circles, but when we group the shapes, we can make 3 shapes, or 3 different sets of shapes here. We got 1, 2, 3, and only this one has circles in it. 1, which is this, 1 set of circles out of 3 total sets of shapes. So you should have put a 3 in the blank there. All right, write the fraction that represents the shaded portion of each rectangle. So here we have a rectangle that's split directly in half. This half is shaded, so we write 1/2. Number 5, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 altogether. So that means that we have sixths, and then 3 of those are shaded. So 3/6 is shaded. Go ahead and do number 6 on your own. Turn the video back on when you're ready to see the solution. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shaded out of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 altogether. 5 out of 10 being shaded. Let's read what this says down here. Each of the rectangles is the same size. This rectangle, this rectangle, this rectangle, they're all the same size. And even though they are divided differently, the portion, that means the part, that is shaded is equal to 1/2 of each rectangle. Notice on this one, split it in half, and this part's shaded. On this next one, we could really split this right down the middle in the exact same spot this one's split in, and this still is a half shaded. And then in this last one, split it right down here. That is the middle of the rectangle, and half of it is shaded. If the numerator and the denominator of a particular fraction are multiplied or divided by the same number, the resulting fraction will be an equivalent fraction. What that means is I can take 1/2 and multiply both of these by 3, the 1 by 3 and the 2 by 3, and get 3/6. This fraction is equal to this one because I multiplied the numerator and the denominator by the same number. And you can see that those correspond to these fractions right here. You can see a picture of it and see why that's true. Another example, let's start with actually 5/10. 5/10 is equal to what? We can divide both top and bottom by the same number. In this case, I can divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 5/10 and 1/2 are the same thing. Here's 5/10, here's 1/2. These are equal to each other. They are the same. All right, number 7 here. For each problem, complete the equivalent fraction. 7 nickels equals 35 hundredths equals what part of a dollar? So what we're doing here is we're figuring out that 7 nickels is equal to 35 cents, right? Well, part of a dollar is, there are 100 cents in a dollar. So 35 cents out of 100 cents is the same thing as 7 nickels. That's why they wrote 35 hundredths. They didn't need to put the cent sign on there. What else could we say that is part of a dollar? Well, how many nickels are there in a dollar? Most of you should already know that there are 20 nickels in a dollar. And we're talking about 7 of those 20 nickels. So 7 out of 20 is the other fraction that we can use to describe the nickels as part of a dollar. 7 nickels out of 20 total nickels that make a dollar. All right, see if you can do number 8 on your own. Pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready for the solution. 2 dimes, that's of course equal to 20 cents. 20 cents out of 100 cents is the portion of the dollar that these 2 dimes are. So that's why they wrote 20 out of 100. Well, we could also say that it's 2 dimes out of how many total dimes that make a dollar? 10 dimes make a dollar, so 2/10 of a dollar. And if you're really good at this fraction stuff, you know that that's the same thing as 1/5 of a dollar. All right, moving on. For each problem, complete the equivalent fraction. What they're saying here is we want to do 3/4 equals some number A over 12. So we're going to think, the way we're going to solve this is we're going to take the 2 numbers that are already there, either the 2 denominators or the 2 numerators. In this case, we have 2 denominators already present in the problem. And we're going to think, how did they go from the 4 to the 12? Did they multiply or did they divide? Well, to go from 4 to a 12, we have to get to a bigger number. And the only way we can get a bigger number is by multiplying, at least by whole numbers, but 4 times 3 is equal to 12. Remember, if I want equivalent fractions, I must multiply or I must divide the top and the bottom by the same number. And a little chant that goes like that. It's going to help you to remember this. So we say, you must multiply or you must divide the top and the bottom by the same number. You must multiply or you must divide the top and the bottom by the same number. So I multiplied by 3. Now I'm going to multiply this by 3. 3 times 3 is equal to what for A? 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. Notice I multiplied both by 3. Why did I pick the 3? Because 4 times 3 is 12, and those numbers were already given. All right, let's go ahead and do number 10 together as well. We're going from 1/6 to 4 somethings, and in this case, the numerator is there. We have both numerators there. We have a 1 and we have a 4. So I ask myself, how do I go from 1 to 4? Obviously, I have to multiply. 1 times what is 4? Well, 1 times 4 is 4. Since I'm multiplying the numerator by 4, I also have to multiply the denominator by 4. You must multiply and you must divide top and the bottom by the same number. So 6 times 4 is equal to 24. All right, once you pause the video, just do number 11, then turn it back on when you're ready to see the solution to that one. Okay, here's what you should have done in this. To go from 5 to 10, the denominators, I know I'm going to multiply because I'm getting bigger here. I'm going to do 5 times 2 to get to 10. So since I'm multiplying by 2 on the denominator, I also have to multiply by 2 on the numerator. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So x is equal to 6. By the way, you should be showing this and this as your show work on your paper. You don't need to write that little line across there, but I should see the multiplication or the division above and below the equal sign in order to be doing this correctly. All right, this next one, it looks like we might be dividing, going from 15 to 3. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can solve number 12 on your own before seeing how I do it. All right, so 15 to 3, I'm going to divide because I'm getting smaller down to here. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. I must multiply or must divide the top and the bottom by the same number. So since I divided the denominator, the bottom number, by 5, to divide the numerator by 5. And 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2, of course. So y is equal to 2. Okay, go ahead and do 13 and 14 on your own. Pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready for the solution. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So you're going to divide this by 2 as well, the 8. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. B is equal to 4. How do I go from 20 to 5? I'm going to divide by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 16 divided by 4 is equal to 4. M is equal to 4. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.